Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode motherfucking 7? I don't fucking know. Of the Monkey and Cop movie podcast. I am your main protagonist, Senior Monkey Jones, and today I am joined by...
the anti-hero.
Oh no.
E-Rich.
Willie Loman, the anti-hero. The greatest...
I'm the Venom to your Spider-Man.
The most tragic American character in all of theatrical history. Willie Loman is joining me today to talk about the downfall of the American dream. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, Monkey.
So what fucking Oscar bait did we watch today? All we watch is Oscar bait on this show. What was today's Oscar bait?
Yeah, I think we watched Kubo and Two Strings?
No, that wasn't Oscar bait. That was a box office failure.
Yeah, Moana?
That wasn't as much of a box office failure, but I did not see it.
Okay, it must be Finding Dory then.
No, that one is it's its own thing. It made like $1 billion, but it wasn't that
Yeah,
good.
it was one of the most successful movies of the year.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, we must have watched the Lego Batman movie.
That's it. This is the first movie we've watched from 2017. Starting off with
all
a
the movies
bang.
we've looked at.
A batarang bang.
Ooh, that one hurt.
Wait, it hurt because it was bad?
It was bad. That was not a good
I
one.
need to chug more Four Loko to get my funny juices flowing.
Yeah, please do. For all of us.
Speaking of funny juices, Rich, would you say that this movie was funny?
I would say it was funny.
Oh, okay. Well,
I kind of have to...
There's the review. Everybody, thanks for watching. Batman movie was funny.
It was funny out of 10.
Okay, go ahead and lead the charge like you always do.
GG, fuck you. Okay, so Lego Batman movie, it's coming off the heels of the highly successful Lego movie, which came out, 3 years ago or something?
I thought it was 2, but maybe it was 3.
Yeah, this is kind of the second in what will be probably a deluge of Lego branded movies.
Yeah, the trailer before the movie was for their next one that's coming out this year, the Ninjago, which I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the Lego Ninjago movie.
It's the first thing I don't know.
I have no
what
idea
it is.
either.
And I probably won't see it.
I'm too old for it. Yeah. Kids 10 years my junior probably know exactly what Ninjago is, but I have no fucking idea what a Ninjago is.
Seems like a spin-off of Bionicle. Wasn't that also by the Lego company?
I wish. I don't think it is. It's just random ninja dudes, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Lego Batman movie, so it's not really a sequel, I would say, to the Lego movie. It is actually a sequel in some ways.
I want to talk about that because that's like one of my two problems with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
all right?
My fan theory is that this is a prequel, and I'll tell you why. It's because
I like that.
And I might be remembering this wrong, but in the Lego movie, the main female is Batman's girlfriend. Remember?
Yes.
But in this movie, he very specifically does not like relationships until the very end. So I'm guessing this is a prequel, and then he ends up getting a girlfriend who he then allows to date Emmett at the end of the Lego movie. That's my hypothesis.
Yeah.
And if that's not true,
cocked.
if this is a sequel, then this Lego cinematic universe makes no fucking sense.
I mean, I can kind of see it both ways, because kind of in the Lego movie, Batman, even though he has that girlfriend, is very withdrawn and he just wants to do everything himself, and he thinks he's a huge badass doing everything just because he's Batman by himself. And then this movie is kind of adding on to that. But you're also right in that he has her as a girlfriend, even if he kind of doesn't really pay much attention to her.
Where he very specifically says he does not participate in relationships.
Yeah, but and you're right. It does only make sense if it that movie comes after this. That really fucks up my imagination of what the movie, when it takes place and everything.
Well, the thing is,
anyway,
it's funny that that's my complaint, because that complaint is contingent on these Lego movies for children having a consistent plot in universe.
Yeah.
So it's such a stupid complaint, really, if you think about it.
I mean, yeah, and I kind of went into it not really thinking. I just thought the Batman character from that Lego movie in his own movie. Yeah. And that's basically all I got to thinking about it as part of this universe and anything. It was just a Lego movie about him. But yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, that is kind of messed up. Okay, but this is basically a Lego Batman-themed version of that kind of Lego movie that came out a couple years ago. And it basically just takes all of the characters, all of the situations, everything you knew about Batman, makes it a Lego version, and just runs crazy with that idea. And I love all the villains that they introduce in this movie, how they get all the shitty ones. That was one of my favorite jokes of this movie, is just trashing all the shitty Condiment King villain and Calendar Man.
Yeah. And I'm glad that when they included Bane, they retained the Bane voice from The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, that's apparently Doug Benson doing his voice. Fag. Yeah. I've never listened to his podcast. I just heard something about it.
I know him from Screen Junkies, but he's not very funny.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, I don't think his Bane voice is particularly good. I think anybody could do a better.
Oh, yeah, but the fact that I knew what they were going for is what made it great.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the movie.
Reckoning.
Batman.
I think if I had to summarize this movie, like the tagline I would give it in 3 words would be Deadpool for kids.
Yeah, kind of. I definitely can see that. It has a very scatterbrained sense of humor where they'll take, like, decently long chunks of time to completely veer off from any kind of, like, plot or any kind of, like, main storyline to tell a joke.
And it's very satirical of the genre, and it's very meta. Absolutely. It breaks the fourth wall probably once per minute.
Yeah. Which I like. Some of my favorite things about these Lego movies is just the people in the Lego world, like, outright stating things that they're doing, or like going pew 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 when they're firing their guns. Like, that kind of thing is like my ultimate. That just fills me with glee.
Because it's like a little kid playing with Legos. Awesome. Put into a movie form.
Absolutely.
And it's delightful and funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, it's the Lego Batman in this Lego world of just kind of wonder and joy. And, like, I did like how they integrated the master builder type thing from the previous movie, where Batman can manipulate his world and build different vehicles and ships and stuff like that. And so, going into this movie, I wasn't really sure what kind of Batman story in particular they'd go for, and it's very much based around Dick Grayson being kind of the son to Batman and what that kind of means to him. And I think they could have done more with that, but it does its job. It's basically Batman trying to accept the idea of this family forming around him.
And so far, both of these Lego movies are very family-oriented. There are no inappropriate jokes, except the one time...
Oh, the dick part.
They made dick joke. And it was really out of place, but that's what made it even funnier, was that they included it.
All the kids in my audience just laughed their heads off.
The kids
I don't even know if they
it?
Knew. I don't know. Do they know, or are they just laughing along with anything that happens?
All I know is that
I have no idea.
In my theater, I was the one laughing the hardest at that joke.
Okay.
When Batman says kids can be cruel, I was like, holy shit. They actually fucking put it in the movie.
And I mean, like if you're making a comedy movie and you have to say dick that many times, it wouldn't surprise me if that wasn't in the script and Will Arnett just said that. But yeah, it's good.
They slipped it by the producers or something.
Yeah.
Because everything else is so family friendly.
Oh yeah. It's but I mean, like, it's very joyful humor that, like, I don't become. It's not the kind of Minions type thing that when I think of, like, a Smurfs movie or a Minions movie where it's just really, I don't know, sanitized humor that just kids just look at this colorful thing and they'll just laugh at whatever the fuck it does. You see,
that's why I don't define Minions as a family-friendly movie. It's a lie. That's a kid movie. Whereas I put the Lego movies in the same tier as, like, Pixar movies, where it's humor that both children and adults will find funny.
Yeah, as a full-grown adult, I saw both of these movies in a theater, and I just had the best time.
Yeah,
and
me too.
You're right. That makes it a family movie where somebody from age 7 to 77 can have a great time watching it.
Yeah, and if you're older than 77, you should be fucking dead.
Fuck you. Get in the ground, old man.
Fucking all old people, man. All they do is go to the theater and let their phone ring for an hour. Fuck them.
What are you doing here, old man? Go die.
So, what are some of the elements of the movie you liked other than the comedy? I think that the animation was... I actually think it was better than the first one. This one had a lot more... It was just... There were so many sections where I felt like the movie was going really fast, like as if it was in fast forward. And that's a pro and a con, because some of the jokes were so rapid fire that I missed them because there were just too many jokes at once. But then I really like the spectacle of a million things happening on screen at once, but it all looks really nice and fluid. And especially for... Is this movie made partially with stop motion, or is it all CGI?
No, I think it's all on a computer, the same as the Lego Movie. They just make it look that way, which I think is great.
I love that aesthetic.
Yeah. So I want to say, this movie looks absolutely gorgeous, incredible. It's almost too much sometimes, where I'm just so overloaded with information coming at me because there's so many jokes, so many visual just things happening on screen that I kind of get confused as to what's happening. But I'm sure when I watch this movie again, it'll be a bit clearer. But yeah, I don't think the wow factor punch is as big as it was for the Lego Movie, because I kind of had an idea of what to expect from it. Because when I first saw the Lego Movie, I'm like, wow, this looks like a stop motion version of any Lego thing being done. It looks like they're like slowly placing the Lego characters in different poses and then just playing it out like that. I don't
have an opinion on that.
Oh, Siri is... No, I'm sorry. Alexa's talking to me. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah, but basically, like, it looks like that. It looks incredibly real, even though it's in a computer. It's CGI. So I was not as blown away this time because I knew what to expect. I knew what they were kind of going for with the style of these Lego movies, and it still impressed me. It still wowed me.
On the subject of a bunch of shit happening on the screen at once and the movie playing very fast at times, I do want to bring up a point that I don't even know if I want to bring up. So it's a contradiction within my own head. But when I was in college, I was studying to be a teacher, and I had to take classes about child development.
Yeah.
And I remember... there was a lesson where they showed us an example of how for very young children, like age toddler to 3, or maybe even older than that, they had 2 examples. They showed a clip from the Powerpuff Girls movie where it was just flashing lights and colors, and then the scene was moving so fast and things were flying around and it was crazy. And then they showed a scene from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where he's teaching the kids about how a restaurant works, and it's all... it's a 2-minute clip, and it's one continuous shot. It never breaks, and Mr. Rogers is saying, "Oh, here's how you go to a restaurant. You sit down at the table, and then you'll have a waiter come up and ask for your meal. So you'll look through the menu." It's very slow. And the idea is that for a young developing mind, it is much better for their education to watch something that's very slow, because the research shows that if they just watch shit that's like the Powerpuff Girls movie where it's crazy flashing on everything, then that leads... They're more prone to ADHD and like these attention deficit disorder and shit. So I'm thinking, is this movie dangerous? Because it was so fast that even me as a 21-year-old adult, even I had trouble processing everything at once. And this is a movie directed at children. So do you have any ideas on this subject, or am I just going bonkers?
It makes sense because it's like that's all they're used to. That's kind of what they expect from any kind of entertainment. And if it doesn't like fill in that niche, then it's too slow. I kind of think that's a thing, not even just with kids movie making, but movie making in general, where you look back 30, 40 years ago, you try to show a kid a movie from the late 70s or something, and they'll just say, it's too slow. I don't even know what's going on. I can't follow it. There's no action in it. There's not enough action. And I think that might be a problem with just the way we stylistically make movies now, is you have to break for an action sequence every 10 minutes. And if you're not, then you're doing it wrong.
I mean, is this why I can't take a dump without bringing my phone with me? Do I need to be distracted at every 5-minute interval? Are we all broken?
Yeah,
are we ruining society? Are we poisoning the youth with all these fucking flashy action movies and shit?
Very possibly, because it feels like you're wasting your time. If not, like you have to be consuming something at any point of your life, or else it's just time wasted. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess another question I'll have for you. Let's drop that because it's just making me bummed out. So I think you've already hinted at it, but of the 2 Lego movies, which one do you like better?
I'm going to say, hands down, the first one. The Lego movie. Yeah,
See, I'm leaning more towards Batman.
Really? Okay.
And my justification is that I was comparing them both in my head all day in light of this podcast, thinking which one am I going to say is better. And I think the reason why I like this one better is on a story level, where I appreciate that the first one was just like it's setting up this whole universe where there's millions of characters from different franchises and they're all together. But I felt like it was spread too thin, where we're gonna go to this world, now we're in the Western world, now we're in the and it's just all these different things. Whereas I appreciate this one more for being focused just on Gotham City and it's focused on just one character. Whereas the first one, it was just spread too thin with a million different characters that were all center stage. So that's why, I mean, I guess on a character level, I liked the Batman Lego movie better.
And for me, it felt like, I don't know, with the original Lego movie, it felt like basically trying to recreate what it was like to play with Legos or to have the experience of like having Legos. So you've got your Western set right here, you've got your princess set right there, you've got your pirate set right there. So it felt like you were jumping around to different Legos and kind of the joy of creation of like mixing those things. And I don't know, I really like that feeling with the Lego Batman movie. I wished more and more that it was more like an actual movie rather than a Lego movie, because basically what it ended up being was they would always throw everything at you at all scenes. So like it's every villain fighting Batman all at once instead of just one villain or something. So like the beginning, I'm basically talking about the beginning and the end. So the beginning is all the villains going after Batman, and then the end is all the villains fighting with Batman and just Barbara Gordon and Alfred. I love that Alfred has his own batsuit. But them fighting against the villains from the Phantom Zone or whatever that had come out. And I just felt like they were just throwing everything at us in every scene rather than kind of building up to things or kind of having some more standalone action. I just kind of preferred the smaller scale, I guess, of the Lego movie.
I would say that the Batman movie was smaller scale because I think it was just focused on Batman learning to embrace relationships again and to overcome his fear of being hurt. So I guess in what regard would you say that the Lego movie was smaller in scale?
So like with the Lego movie, they had one goal most of the time. So there's the sequence, I think, in the Lego movie where they're breaking into whatever the Lord business or whatever his thing, and it just felt like a heist sequence or something, and it felt like they had a goal to do. Everyone had a role to play, and they made jokes and stuff, but it was never separated from what they were doing. In this movie, it just feels like it's just action, action, action with no actual goal. Like when he's fighting every single villain, it becomes less special to me.
I felt like it was just kind of a play on how Batman wins against these villains every time, that they are kind of lame and weak, and that, you know, he beats them all the time, so the satire would be he kills them all in like one punch.
Okay, but my kind of question is, where does it go from here? If they want to make another Lego Batman movie. If this one does well, I guarantee it.
I have no idea where they would go from here. But to justify my pick, my favorite sequence from this movie was when it actually did slow down, and it's Bruce Wayne alone in Wayne Manor, and he's in his movie theater watching, what's he fucking watching? Love Actually, Serendipity or some shit with Tom Cruise.
Some Tom Cruise movie.
And then
you complete me.
And when he's talking to Alfred and he's looking at the pictures of his dead parents and all that, I really loved all that stuff. So when it was like actual character moments, and I think Emmett in the Lego movie had a little bit of that stuff, but otherwise I don't remember much depth to character in that movie.
Well, I think that movie had a lot going for it with Emmett, with Wildstyle kind of as a character developing. So kind of like she's this stereotype or caricature of like this badass girl, and she kind of realizes this is kind of a put on. I don't need to be this. I don't need to kind of wear these clothes and do this thing just because, I don't know, that's kind of the mold you're in. I just felt like the spirit of creativity, the spirit of building, the spirit of, I don't know, being your own kind of person. And then the end of the movie had the
live action scene.
Live action thing.
That was amazing.
Yeah. This movie does not have anything like that.
No, I was waiting because my brother told me that like he didn't want to spoil anything, but that there was something very fourth wall breaking and meta in this movie, and I was waiting for it the whole time, like, oh, because they were saying that Gotham City, there's nothing underneath it, so I was thinking, okay, that's obviously the table, right? So I was waiting for it to go to the live action, but it never happened.
Yeah, as soon as they said that, I figured, oh, it's just going to cue the live action thing from the last movie.
Anyway, I said I had two major problems with the movie.
Yeah.
I mentioned the first one. The second one, and this is just another nitpick, it's no big deal. But do you know who the voice of Alfred was in this movie?
Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, fucking Voldemort from Harry Potter.
Yeah, and then he doesn't play fucking Voldemort.
Voldemort's in this movie as a villain, and he doesn't... First of all, he doesn't play Voldemort, which I guess I understand. If they want to do a comedic comedy movie, maybe just get somebody doing a silly impression or whatever. And maybe he's contractually obligated to not ever play it again. I don't know.
Possibly. I don't know. I have no idea.
But my main problem was, with how meta and fourth wall breaking the movie is, I was at least hoping that Alfred would confront Voldemort or have like some sort of joke or reference to it, but it never happens. And I don't know why they missed that opportunity. But again, that's just a nitpick, and it's not enough to condemn the movie in any way.
It just felt like a missed opportunity, right?
Yeah.
It was Eddie Izzard who did his voice.
What about you? Did you have any other major problems with the movie?
I don't know. I saw people online saying that like this is the best Batman movie, like it's the best kind of
it's the best since The Dark Knight.
Of the character. Yeah, I tend to agree with that, but like I kind of don't. This is not Batman as I know him, where Batman is kind of this. He's intellectual too. Like he's not just this. This is kind of
the Deadpool
version of
Batman.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. This is Batman who knows that he's famous, who knows that he has a big reputation out. Like, he's constantly making fun of Superman and stuff in this movie. Like, this is a Batman who is aware of his fame outside of the movies and outside of the comics or outside of kind of the fictional world. This is a Batman who has so much ego and so much kind of, I don't know. He's kind of too much of an asshole rather than...
That's why it's funny.
Yeah, I know. And I do like how they tied it in with the orphan thing where he's looking for a family, or he doesn't want to admit that he does miss having other people around him.
Well, I
did like that part of it.
You're saying he's too much of an asshole, but I think it's just a unique interpretation of the character where one of they say it in plain terms that he pushes people away because he's afraid of getting hurt by them. So that's just like, that's him being an asshole.
Or them getting hurt.
Will Arnett is just reprising his role as Bojack, pretty much. He keeps getting typecasted as the guy who pushes people away so he doesn't get hurt.
Oh, man, that's a good insight there. Yeah, I guess I just basically, like, I would like to have seen Lego Batman in a more down-to-earth, straightforward type of adventure. I think you can get crazy with it at the very end, but it kind of seemed like it started at crazy, all the villains fighting Batman all at once, and it kind of never came back from that.
All right, anything else?
I shouldn't argue.
Anything else we hit on before we go to recommendations?
Just all the meta jokes in this, the Iron Man sucks being the password
that's pretty good.
To the Batcave.
Did you like the meta jokes or not?
Oh, I loved them. Like, one of my favorite parts is where he's listing through all of the previous Batman movies.
And they show, like, an image of Batman versus Superman and all that, but then they get to, like, the old 70s one, and they show an actual live-action clip of it.
Yes, that's one of my favorite parts. And I also loved when they showed Batman and Robin, it was the nipples. It was the bat nipples. That's so great. Yeah. And then there's a part near the end where they start fighting crooks and bad guys and stuff like that. And it's like, we're going to be so badass that words are going to appear on the screen when we do it. And that's exactly like the old
comics
60s.
In the TV show.
Yeah, especially the TV show.
And then they do high five.
Blam. Yeah, that was just great. So many like Batman specific moments in this movie just made me smile and just say, I love this. I just love watching this.
Yeah, it's a great balance of, it's a love letter to Batman as the whole history of it, while at the same time satirizing the entire genre and pretty much what Batman is. Lots of jokes about how everybody in Gotham is fucking retarded for not knowing that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Rich. So and I'm pretty sure you would recommend this movie. So, who specifically would you recommend it to?
I'd recommend it to any Batman fan. I'm struggling to think, would someone who has never seen a Batman movie before like this? I think they would. I think it's just entertaining
because I went with my girlfriend and she has never seen any Batman movie except for The Dark Knight, and she was laughing as much as I was, and she loved it.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, and I mean, like, just on a pure entertainment level, it's hilarious. And on a Batman level, I feel like Batman itself has seeped into the culture enough so that if you're above the age of 10, you've probably been in some way exposed to Batman in some form. So you will get a kick out of this. It's funny. It's fun. It makes you laugh. It makes you... I mean, I would never say that I cried during this, but I got kind of emotional during the orphan things.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I might be autistic. Because I got this buddy Digibro, and he came up with this theory. Somebody asked him one time, why are so many autistic people attracted to anime? And he answered, and I'm pretty sure this was him. If it wasn't him, I'm attributing it to him anyway. His answer was that anime characters' features and emotions are so pronounced on their faces and in their actions that it's very easy for an autistic person to understand their emotions, whereas normally they wouldn't be able to. And I'm starting to realize about myself that I feel more emotion when watching like kids movies, like Toy Story, or even this fucking Lego Batman. Whereas if I watch like a serious drama, other than something rare like Interstellar or A Manchester by the Sea, typically I don't give a shit about the characters as much. But man, something about these fucking cheesy cartoons, they with like very blatant wearing their emotional pulls on their sleeve. It always gets to me, and it makes me almost tear up. So I don't know. Maybe I'm autistic.
No, I don't. Like, if you are autistic, then I am too. But basically, every animated movie that I saw this year, Kubo and the Two Strings, Finding Dory, Moana, like basically all the movies I listed off in the beginning of the episode here, I cried during all of those movies. There's something about animated characters.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Going through human struggles that just gets to me. It just tugs the heartstrings.
Is it because, is it like horoscopes where like a horoscope is so simplified that it applies to anybody? Is this working with animation where the emotions are so simplistic that I relate to it even though it, like a normal movie with live action is going to be more specific in its emotional pull, so I won't relate to it as well as something that's very generic like an animated movie. Like, the emotional pull in this movie is, Batman is lonely and he's afraid of making friends with people. And I'm like, that I can really relate to that. I'm going to cry now.
Yeah.
It's very simplistic.
Yeah, but I think it's easy to connect to. And it's probably easier to connect to an animated figure because they're so far from humanity. And you can read a lot of humanity into their expressions.
So maybe I'm not autistic.
No. Yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on the recommendation. I would recommend this to anybody who has a sense of humor, so probably most people. Because
absolutely.
Even if you don't know what Batman is, if you've never heard of Batman before in your life, I still think you'll think this movie's hilarious. Because it's just, these Lego movie people, and it's one of the same directors as the original one. They've got this great sense of humor that works on a lot of levels for a lot of people, and I dig it.
Yeah, definitely. And let me just real quick push in here with the box office. It beat 50 Shades, whatever.
Oh, thank God.
This weekend. So it is coming in first, and it'll win the weekend, and it'll probably go on to be hugely successful here in the States.
It's beating John Wick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
John Wick's coming in third.
Are we doing John Wick next on this show?
I hope so.
All right. Well, if we're done talking about Lego Batman, I do have one Twitter question to talk about today.
All right.
This one is from user Axe Shizzle, who wants to know, who is your favorite director and why?
Oof, that's a big question.
Yeah. Well, if you have one, you can go, or I guess I'll go first so you can think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is a tough question because when I think of my favorite movies, I have a list of 5 that I typically go to. It's Back to the Future, Inception, Neverending Story, Inglourious Bastards, and I don't remember the fifth one, so it must... Oh, yeah, The Departed. The Departed by Martin Scorsese. So all five of my favorite movies are by five different directors, so it's not like I have one easy pick who have, like, somebody who, they have two in the top five, and it must be them.
Yeah.
But I think the answer I have to go with for now, and call me a pleb if you want, as E-Rich was hinting at before the show, the son of a bitch... But I have to say, my favorite director working right now is Christopher Nolan, because consistently I love everything that he does. Some of my favorite movies include Interstellar, Inception, and The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight Rises for a different reason, but I still love it.
Yeah.
And every time he releases a movie, no matter what it is, he has Dunkirk coming out this year. All I know is it's about World War II. But every time he releases a movie, I'm going to go see it no matter what. So I think just based on that alone, I have to say he's my favorite working director right now. What about you, E-Rich?
Yeah. Okay, so my first, and maybe my first answer is my truest, but I've kind of got a new up-and-coming favorite that I'm going to list as my actual favorite. But I was going to say before, Paul Thomas Anderson. I think he's just an amazing director who picks... projects that I have no idea why he'd pick them, but he brings a lot of greatness to those movies that he directs. He did
The Master, right?
He did The Master. He did Inherent Vice. He did Boogie Nights.
Man, I did not like Inherent Vice.
Magnolia. Okay.
God.
I mean, I understand what people don't. He did there. Wait, I think he did There Will Be Blood. So.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff. But
I take it back. Inherent Vice is fine.
That was my before pick. My actual pick, because he's kind of an up and coming, hungry director. I think who's going to make a lot of waves coming up is Denis Villeneuve.
Oh yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah. I can't wait to see his Blade Runner movie. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Blade Runner, I think he can do great things with that series. And then he's now going to do a Dune movie, which is just insane.
Should we rank our favorite Denis Villeneuve movies? And I think
absolutely.
Our lists are going to be probably polar opposites.
Okay, let me think here. So, number 1, I'd say Sicario. Number 2, I'd say Enemy.
Holy shit, dude! I can't believe you put Enemy above Arrival. I'm actually impressed.
Yeah, I really liked Arrival, but not as much as something like Enemy, where I was just fully surprised by Enemy, whereas with Arrival, I had figured out about a third of the way through what was going on. Yep. Let me see here.
You're missing Prisoners.
Is good. Why did I think he did another movie with Gyllenhaal?
He did Prisoners and
Enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did I say for number 1? Shit.
Sicario.
Yeah, Sicario. Number 2 was Enemy. Number 3, I'll say Arrival. Number 4, I'll say... And I haven't seen all of his movies either.
I've only seen the 4 famous ones.
Yeah, he's done a bunch before then that I haven't seen. But then, I guess... Prisoners number 4.
Oh, shit. Why do you hate Prisoners so much? That's like... Man... It's either my 1 or 2.
It's too much of the same thing after a while. It's so... It's so laboriously dreadful. Just watching Paul Dano get tortured.
Yeah. It's classic.
So much runtime.
Classic Dano.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Classic.
I guess I would have to go Sicario, Prisoners, Enemy, and then Arrival. Because I did not like Arrival as much as everybody else.
You did not like Arrival? Oh, God.
Because the ending was too much of a spoon-feeding, I think my audience is retarded kind of thing. And I liked it all the way up until the ending. So I still like it a lot, just not as much as his other movies.
So it's just that they kind of had to spell it all out.
Yeah, it's like, I fucking get it, dude. I know you're trying to make a mainstream movie, but don't treat me like I'm retarded.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, he's a very good pick for favorite director. I think he's going to be one of the next, all-time greats.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite Nolan movie?
Inception, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to say The Dark Knight for that.
Yeah.
My kind of problem with Inception is it's a lot of people explaining the movie.
Well, here's the thing, though. I'm autistic, So I'm okay with every character being an exposition machine except for the main character.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only characters that really jump out to me are Cobb and his wife.
And that gay chick, right? What's her name?
Ellen Page?
Yeah, isn't she kind of a character too?
No.
No, I don't know.
Come on, Mumkey.
She's like the avatar for the audience because she's learning along with us.
Wait, never mind. I was wrong. Cillian Murphy's also a character in the movie.
Yeah, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Are you telling me Inception didn't make you cry in that
Monkey.
scene when Cillian Murphy goes into the vault and he's confronting his dying father?
It's great. That part's great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is Ellen Page's character?
What is her character?
Yeah.
She's the architect. She is just a student who just wants to be a normal girl. But then Leo comes in and changes everything. And she becomes obsessed with being able to create worlds, and she becomes addicted to it, and she wants to...
But does she ever create a world?
Yeah, she creates all the worlds all the dream worlds.
She helps.
Well, yeah, she's the architect so that Leo doesn't know what the mazes are, because he's not allowed to know, because then Mal will know the same thing that he does, and then she'll ruin the operation.
That never plays into the movie. Like,
it totally does.
Face? But Leo is never, like, befuddled by, like... I don't know where I'm going, or somebody point me the way, or I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe it's because what's her face is hunting him down.
All I know is that I've seen that movie 40 times, and I pick up something new every time, and I really like that.
I think I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. Like, yeah, it's definitely a cool movie. I just feel like the initial shock of, oh, this is cool. Holy shit, what are they doing? Wait, what? And like, as soon as you know exactly what's going on, it just becomes... Oh, well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to explain stuff to me, and Tom Hardy's going to make quips, which is fine. But, yeah, it just becomes entire scenes of people explaining the world to you.
The whole plot with Leo and Mal, his wife, his dead wife, is very, very special to me, because this idea that he had to trick his wife into thinking that she needed to die, and then that was a real-world problem when she woke up, and she still thought she was dreaming. So then he felt that guilt because he tricked his wife into committing suicide. It's just, oh God, it's just like, that's amazing to me as a story, and I haven't seen anything quite like that before, because without a magic dream a briefcase, you can't really tell that kind of story. Okay, well, I think E-Rich got cut off, so unless he comes back in a second, I'm going to sign off for both of us. So thanks for watching episode, 7 of the Mumkey and Cobb movie podcast.
Hello?
Oh, you there?
Yeah, you got cut off for about a minute.
Oh, I thought you were cut off.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Well, we both were.
Anyway, I was signing off for the both of us.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to introduce my Inception theory.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Fine, that's fine.
Okay. Sorry. I'm going to take up some time here.
It's okay,
so Mal... That's her name, right? Mal?
Yeah.
That's a place you go to hang out at a food court. Okay, but Mal...
Mal also means bad in Spanish.
Really? Okay. Yeah, malformed. So Mal... My theory is that Mal actually did come out to the deepest level, kind of. And by killing herself, committing suicide or whatever, she did really get all the way out. This kind of rests
Leo
on,
at the hotel was still in the dream world.
Yeah. This all rests on the fact that the totem that Leo is spinning is hers.
Right.
It's not his.
His is the wedding ring.
Only you should know. What's that?
His is the wedding ring.
Yeah. Like, only you should know the weight of your totem or whatever. Like, that's kind of how you know that it's working and shit. And so, like, my kind of thought here is, and I think there's enough in the movie to read this into making it true, but it's not necessarily real. This is not necessarily right. But basically that the entire movie was her way of convincing him to be happy within those kind of dream worlds. Basically contrive a way that he'll be reunited with his kids and he becomes happy for himself. If that makes any sense.
I think I might agree with you, because I also think that he's still dreaming at the end of the movie.
Yeah, because why would you end it like that, other than to say fuck you to the audience, unless it was some kind of
Well, my main reasoning for that opinion is that every time he thinks of his kids, they're bent over digging a hole in the dirt. And then when he gets home, they're still digging a hole in the fucking dirt. Either that's the only thing they do for fun, or he's still in his dream.
Or whoever it is, Michael Caine or whoever the fuck brings him there all the time is like, okay, kids, go play in the same fucking dirt you always play in.
Go dig in the fucking dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, but real quick, that was my my thought on Inception.
Well, what I really like about the ending is that like it's one of the great ambiguous endings of the 2000s, where everybody in the theater, when the screen went black and the top stopped spinning, everybody in the theater was emotionally aghast, and you could hear it, and everybody, oh, what?
Yeah.
Nolan, what the fuck?
I saw that movie at a midnight showing at like 2:30 in the morning. The movie cuts to black as the top is spinning. Everybody in the theater went, "Oh, come on!" Everyone, it was great.
I love that. That's what I want to do. I want to make videos. That's what I want to achieve with my anime reviews. Is that an ending makes the audience just aghast and go, "What the fuck?" I love it.
Yeah, I got to give him that. That in itself is impressive.
All right, this is now actually our longest episode ever by a lot, so I think we need to sign off.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. For the Mumkey and Cobb movie reviews, I've been Mumkey.
And I have been E-Rich.
And we'll see you next time with, I guess, John Wick 2?
I'm back.
I think I'm back.
Am I back?
Am I Batman?
I'm back, man.
Okay, we're done.